Solve, absolutely. I mean, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be 2-0 down. But I feel like they haven't just flopped over. And I think the main problem is working out what you're putting Bull on. A longer range carry would be a godsend because the Draven did not work, the Kai'Sa did not work. Just give him something where he doesn't have to be up close and personal because that is just not favoring him in this game, in this series.
Ooh, Sejuani going to be the change-up here.
Okay, so Ashe left available.
Yeah.
Is obviously, typically we see the Ashe support and it's paired with the Varus. Not sure if that's really something I expect KonAFreeks to utilize, but a big hit to Cuz, who's been so good in the Sejuani.
And the Kalista should still be the final ban on the side of the KonAFreeks, but instead it'll be Maokai. Different Shadow Isles vibe here. Triple Shadow Isles.
Yeah, so I think the thought process is that if you take Kalista, you might have to deal with the Ashe, which is obviously a big pain point. They will just lock that one in. Obviously, a lot of early pressure available. I mean, the thing is, you kind of have to because Bull is very proficient on the Kalista, one of his better picks back when he was in challenges. So they don't want to give that one over.
Yep.
And Viper, obviously, no stranger to pick themselves. So now the question is, what are KonAFreeks going to do in return? They are going to look towards the Ashe. Things like the Ashe, like the Aurelion Sol, are very effective into Kalista. It's so hard to team fight on this champion when you're just getting perma-slowed.
And also, KonAFreeks are the only team that have actually played Ashe AD carry as well. It was Taeyun, it was very early in the season, but they do like to experiment with that. So this is likely going into support, but theoretically a flex as well. As Cuz, what are you going to be taking here? As Rel, a flex as well.
Yeah,
so
I like
locking in 2 supports.
Good in the Kalista, you know, short range pick, a lot of engage potential. HLG Esports, you know, you've lost to Sejuani, you've lost to Maokai, you've lost to Rel. They could look towards Peanuts Poppy. They could look to secure the Renata now. Vi also a very valid option. You could even go like Vi Talia here if you wanted, but I think they'll probably want to secure the Renata. I think they'll likely want to. We'll see though. Obviously, you don't have full information about the bot lane. If it is a poke-heavy bot lane, Renata can feel a little bit bad. But teams just prioritize the duo so heavily and for good reason.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like Renata is somewhat dangerous with the amount of flexibility this bot lane has. Like, if you run into a third pick Caitlyn, and you have that, and then you just get completely shoved out, it can be a problem. As Vi Ahri going to come in. Zeker, of course, big fan of this champion.
So immediately, this just feels so dangerous for the Ashe. This is such an aggressive... I mean, we already saw all the games previously how an Akoi in HLG Esports could just turn on the aggression and just pick someone out. This comp has so many tools to do that. And a Draven...
All right.
This feels... It's a good matchup to Kalista. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a good matchup here. If you snowball against a Kalista, it feels twice as good because you shut it down. But into Vi Ahri, Bull needs to have not only the game of the series, but I feel like the game of the season here.
The game of his life, I think. This is going to be so incredibly rough. And Delight's pick hasn't even been locked in yet, so he can make it even worse for this bottom lane in theory. Camille going to be taken away. Sometimes you'd think that that is a top lane ban. It is not. That is a ban towards Delight.
Yeah, I would not want to play any Camille support with this combo.
Is it Camille, Nico? Are they the bans that they have to throw out here?
It could well be, honestly. Nico could be really scary as well. Yeah, I think honestly that makes sense in terms of bans. Now, for the side of HLG Esports, do they ban away the Rek'Sai again? It's not paired with the Sejuani, but it was still pretty obnoxious. They're going to ban the Azir first and foremost. Do you ban the Aurelion Sol? It's very unfun to play against the Kalista, and I kind of feel like it's one of those champions who can early buy a Zhonya's and not be too bothered about it. So pretty good. Yeah, playing that into the vibe. Maybe even, I mean, Annie's not really a Bulldog pick, but that we've seen had success into the Ahri. A lot of options. Regardless, Nautilus banned away, something that does pose threat onto that Ashe, and also having double point-and-click knockups, I think that would make it unplayable for Draven.
Yeah, both of those. Talia going to be taken away here. We have seen Ahri's picked into Talia. It is one of those matchups that we just see all the time, but just wanting to allow Viper to play the game, which does make some sense.
Definitely, and again, you know, champions that make it difficult to play, Kalista, definitely Talia is one of them, but the Aurelion Solas as well, they will pick that up. Not as much early pressure though. I think that's going to be the key thing that HLG's draft hinges on, is being able to move Zeker down bot lane to set up plays, to set up 4-mans, to once again deny the Draven the stacks. We've seen 0 Draven cashing gold this game, this series, sorry. So definitely need to get that in this one. And for the support pick, They were hovering with the Nika, but they go for the Blitzcrank.
Oh, okay.
Similar levels of threat. You know, it's not quite the AoE threat, but if you grab the Ashe, it is just game over. So, Quantum, you need to be on your A game for sure here.
And you also get it guaranteed. Like, cease and desist comes in, and as long as you're in range for that hook, you are going to land it. Not to mention, some of the shenanigans you can do with Fate's Call and Blitzcrank just means that you can lock people up for an extraordinarily large amount of time. And now Doran is going to try his hand at the rec side. This time it's Halma Life Esports with this composition that is handcrafted around the early to mid game. And they're going to see whether they can use that to actually snowball effectively for a victory. I do love that Quantum Freaks have forced them into this angle, though, because I think that Halma have looked so good at just navigating late games after whatever's happened in the early game. Their early game has been shaky. So this is probably a good place to target, as Dudu going to take the other side of the matchup.
Yeah, and obviously expect the rec side to have a lot of pressure in this matchup. Juju is a formidable Aatrox, but I feel like if I'm Quantum Freaks, I'm like, you know, have fun in the one.
Is that a rusted Blitzcrank? Which Blitzcrank skin is that?
Is
that a new one?
I mean, it's a chroma. I'm pretty sure. I think it's not a new skin. It's just a chroma on like. I think it might be based with a chroma.
Just wondering because it looks cool. I like it.
It does look cool.
We don't see it very often.
You know, normally people go for like the Blitz and Crank, like the cat one.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. The hook! It's going to connect onto Dudu. He's lit on fire, does have to flash immediately as Peanut is also flashing out of there. He's taking a fair bit of damage as now Doran, he has to flash. So summon a spell advantage actually goes in favor of Quantum Freaks.
Yeah, you know, it feels like a Oh, I'm really scared for you.
Yeah.
It feels like a composition where you have a Blitzcrank, you don't win level 1, but you know, you grab someone, you're dealing with the auto power of the Ashe and the Drave, and you don't win that out in the extended fights. Now they're looking to go for a re-invade here. I love this idea. They have so much power in their composition. Delight is going to see it first.
Yeah. And he's going to opt out of getting any hooks, I can imagine. As they do, look to steal this one away. Speaking of stealing things away,
grabbing the smite?
Yeah. And there it is. Picked up. And the smite goes over to Peanut.
No.
That is, yeah, top of the morning to you, sir.
You know, I feel like going for these aggressive invades when the chips are down, when it's looking a bit rough, 100% respect for Quantum Freaks, but feels bad going into Game 3. You know this is your last-ditch effort, and you miss out on the smite there. Not the start that we're hoping for.
This is something that Cuz has sometimes had trouble with, has landed some amazing smites. But often when he's the one with control, he's
you have to
taken away from him.
You have to auto on the Ashe, right? You have to keep constantly pressure and use the Hail of Blades on your opponent, but it's so scary against the Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
Every time you can see from Quantum's like clicks, just every time he walks up, he's like, oh, I'm autoing, but I'm not happy about it.
He did look pretty good on the Ashe last time around, even though it was a loss. He didn't look too bad. Was putting a lot of pressure on in lane. And the results weren't great in the end, but I think that we can say that his laning phase was all right. 4-0 in favor of the Kalista in a matchup that we often say is actually Draven favored.
Yeah. Not being favored enough recently.
No. Not quite working out. This, just to confirm, it is just the base skin chroma, so it's, well, I mean, that's what Rusted Blitzcrank was as well. But Cuz, he's coming in. They're looking for a very early gank, but Peanut's in position. The flash out from Quantum as the hook does come through. And that's a trade up on summoner spells. As Peanut, we were talking about bounces before, the fact that Delight, Peanut, and Doran have all been acting like that. I mean, Peanut actually, this game, looks exactly like one.
Oh, it feels so rough losing the Ashe flash early because Delight can just flash E into grab, and I'm pretty sure there's no navigating that. I'm pretty sure Quantum just gets one shot.
We'll see what Viper's going to do for the build as well. He has gone the lethal tempo, so I assume it's just going to be the regular attack speed on hit variety of the Kalista.
Which is interesting because, you know, I mean...
Yeah, I like the lethality version as well.
He does have a rel to cut through, but like I said, this is a very hard game to play Kalista into an Aurelion Sol and an Ashe, so lethality kind of has the benefit of you just can launch a Q in and pop someone, but obviously that does make you very snowball focused when your comp is already leaning heavily into the early game.
Yep. See what they can actually utilize with it. as Zeka is moving on in. They do get information on where Cuz is. You can see it's already Peanut taking away the red buff, taking away the Krugs. Dudu looking to try to stop these tunnels. But Peanut is coming over, does spot out that ward, I believe, and Cuz not going to be able to jump onto his Krugs.
But they know where Peanut is based on the fact that they're missing. Have a pretty good idea of it.
Yep. Peanut, I think, going to go back and just grab this grab, and that is going to be Cuz missing out on that one. So big advantage here for Peanut when it comes to farm.
Yep, definitely a good early edge over the Rel so far. Other than that, nothing too crazy coming out.
Doran is going to get chained up momentarily. We'll need to go underground a little bit to utilize that Fury. I feel like this is a champion that does benefit Doran because he does like going for trades that he doesn't often win. And so then just gets to go underground and then, haha, I won the trade.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the other person's like, oh, well, I won this trade. Give it 5 seconds, and no, you didn't.
Yeah. And there's a knockup as Dudu does land some chains here. And as you can see, it feels like the Fury just, like, goes up really, really fast.
Yeah, it's one of the things, because obviously the top lane Rek'Sai is quite new. They've already got nerfs scheduled to come in where you just generate way less Fury for minions. Because I think that's the problem, is like, you know, if you trade heavily against someone and get the Fury, that's one thing, but you can just heal up the minions constantly.
Yeah.
Which feels very obnoxious.
Doran's just having fun pressing every button. We do know that he has been playing a lot of Rek'Sai recently, in solo queue especially. He's on like a 76% win rate or something like that on this champion. Not too bad. So Doran, no stranger to how this one is supposed to be played out, especially with the practice he got on the other side of the matchup in the last couple of games. Certainly must be feeling that it is a very good one for the Rek'Sai after what happened.
Yeah, I mean, both games felt like really had an absolute edge there. Lily Dragon picked up by Quantum Freak, so with it being a Chemtech, definitely puts higher priority on later souls.
Absolutely.
We haven't seen a ton of action. One thing I will say is that Quantum nearly has his flashback and hasn't been punished. I would have loved to see them make something off that.
I think maybe just kind of happy that Viper and Delight get to farm. As you can see, Delight not down, Viper not down too much farm. And so maybe just sort of happy about that, being able to weather the storm here.
I guess also playing into an Ashe, it's very hard to set up situations where you can gank just on the back of the Hawk shot. And also, if you go for 2v2 play and you end up misplaying, like let's say you kill Ashe but Draven gets a kill back, is just such a bad position to be in. Maybe just waiting for the team fight before they can punish the Draven. Don't give him any opportunities to trade kills.
Yeah, basically not letting him cash in is the main thing. It's
that
not
worked
really
well
about
last game.
It certainly did. Killing him was a pretty big part of that.
Yeah, not necessarily specific to Draven, but just in general, killing the enemy to carry usually.
Yeah.
Oh, Peanut's coming in, he's level 6.
Yeah, there it is. There's the flash, and Bull is in so much trouble. He's just dead. The Rend is going to come in whenever Viper would like to press the button, and there it is. That's first blood going over to Viper as well on this Kalista. That is so dangerous. Harmalife Esports off to exactly the start they were looking for.
And that just didn't even feel remotely difficult.
No.
Oh, this might just be a fault. No flash still available.
Yeah, the hook is just going to miss, and Delight going to have to walk away. Quantum is able to press Q and do a fair bit of work there, but I don't think they're getting any kills or anything like that, especially not with Peanut still in the relatively immediate vicinity.
The okay thing is at least it's still early, so they didn't lose that many stacks.
Hey, there you go.
Is the cope I'm going for?
That's some cup half full. Zeka just walking towards Bulldog here, who takes a lot of damage from the full combo. There is a Hex Flash and a Rocket Grab as Quantum's just dead, punched in the noggin. And that is going to be a second one going over to Harmalife Esports. Now it is Peanut getting accelerated, and he was already pretty far ahead. This is Dudu actually fighting very well against Doran here. He will now go underground and just be fine.
You know, I think my takeaway from this situation is that if you're gonna pick red side, I think maybe saving the support counter pick would have been really, really valuable. Because they are not having a good time in this Blitzcrank.
I've seen this one before. All right, let's see whether Doran is going to be... No, he can't. He can't even press his buttons. As Cuz going to have to flash to avoid dying to the turret, but is still going to avoid giving money over to Doran, which is definitely high value. They'll also get some plate money. Doran does have teleport. Yeah, he's still going to miss out on a lot.
I think Doran kind of misplayed a little bit there. Didn't get a chance to get his ult off, and that's one of the most powerful anti-dive tools, because essentially you're in...
I was waiting
targeted then. Yeah, he had flash as well, just not a great use of his tools, I'm going to be honest, because I think he for sure could have traded back. I mean, obviously with how low Cuz was, if he ulted, I think he would have been in a good spot, but regardless...
you buy a lot of time, don't you, with the Void Rush?
Yeah, it really is. And it's obviously an execute as well, so definitely would have killed Cuz if it was on him. But even if it's on Dudu, just buying the time could have been enough.
No, exactly. And I think that you might even survive if you're able to do that. Never mind. Cuz going to come on over and just take away his chickens very comfortably there, as Peanut's not able to counter jungle that one. Still, Doran does collect a couple of plates, regardless of the misplay towards the top side. And we all know that Doran dying a few times in lane doesn't often really impact the outcome of the game, as there's another hook to connect on to Quantum. Fate's call to come down as well. The double knockup does come in, and Viper does get the auto attack into the air. Viper respecting Bull's ultimate, because of course that execute damage has been stacked up. Although not that much, because he was the one that died.
Yeah, 102, not a ton.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those moments where you're not checking the stacks as you're fighting. You're not going to risk it.
Yeah.
Try and calculate, hey, would I survive this ult? You just don't give the opportunity. And, you know, part of the issue with this Ashe, into the Blitzcrank, you know, you can harass him. If he hits one grab, you're just dead.
Yep. We saw that. In fact, the Ashe was dead.
Yeah.
Didn't have a whole lot of buttons
and now flashless as well.
Yeah, that's the really tough part. Bull's actually gone and purchased an opportunity as well, so going a little bit more on the lethality ebb.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's builds you can go where you can mix in like lethality and crit.
It was Deft, right, who built just opportunity and then went on hit afterwards on Callista.
Yeah, I think one of the things that are really strong with the Draven is oh,
okay.
Yep. Trying to do a little back and forth, and the Light's like, you know, I'll just grab you.
And auto is in the air. It was almost a flash that actually worked there for Quantum.
Yeah, as I was saying, like, one of the things with Draven is that, like, his axe, the extra damage from the axe doesn't crit. Like, your auto still crit, but the extra damage doesn't. But obviously, the flat damage just benefits so much from lethality. It's why you'd often see, like, lifesteal builds from Draven. Black when Bloodthirster first was a big thing, because, you know, you still get the additional healing from the damage, even if it doesn't crit. So these lethality builds, I've seen moments where, like, a fed lethality Draven just, like, one auto kills a squishy.
Obviously, or you just, like, kill the entire team with an R button.
Yeah, don't think we'll get that this game, but there's still time. Just need to see Bull capitalize and hopefully get some kills. They're starting this dragon, and Zek is resetting, but does have TP. Oh,
Doran is able to actually press the R button this time around as Dudu back underneath the turret. I'm not sure about that one. He takes another turret shot, and he's able to survive. That was beautifully navigated. Now the team fight is going to break out, but unfortunately, I think that maybe that charm didn't work out. Still not going to matter, as Cuz does go down. Zeker is going to absorb the essence, and he grabs yet another charge. It is 2 kills in the fight, and despite Doran's best efforts, the flash isn't enough, as Bulldog's also going to be taking down another fantastic charm from Zeker. And Harmolife Esports, they will crush the fight. Even if they don't get the Drake, they'll get so much more.
Man, I feel so bad for Dudu. Gets a 6 solo kill, just looks towards Dragon, it's like, oh god, what is going on?
Yeah, let's have a look at this part. This is the good part for Quantum Freak.
Quantum fans feeling good about this one. You know, baits out the ult. The flash from Doran was very weird. Not sure what he was going for there. I think he was scared of immediate recourse, but Dudu waits for a cooldown to goes in, and that was dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
That's what you get for having fun.
Yeah, Doran just called his cousins. He was like, this guy's bullying me.
Yeah, they don't
Peanut's
like that.
All right, I guess I'll come up and kill him.
Yeah, and now this fight. So, a lot is committed onto Peanut. Like a lot, and he just flashes out the charm. Jintrop from Zek is fantastic, and then here, you know, the knockup on a Cuz, he's a Rel who's dismounted, he's so slow, and once you get the initial kill, the resets come in. You know, this was a good grab from Delight, but Bulldog, you flash in a straight line.
Yeah, that hook wasn't going anywhere else.
Yeah, you could have just flashed, like, to the right, and you're completely fine. So, you know, Delight obviously had a good team fight, but I'm kind of putting that one on Bulldog.
Yeah. Didn't quite work out. Often, you know, Blitzcrank lives or dies by whether those hooks land, and they've been landing.
Yeah,
and
I'm
so
pretty
he's
sure
been eaten well.
There's a direction you could have flashed there where you're just not even in range of the ground.
Yeah. That's what he
way.
tried to do. He tried to outrange it, but unfortunately, there are a few extra links in the chain, I guess.
Yeah. Oh well. So the sort of positive takeaway for the Quantum Freaks here is that
Let's half fill this cup.
Oh yeah, it's
Let's do it.
You
top lane.
You have 2 dragons. Your top lane is ahead. And you also actually scale pretty well. All the other games, it felt like Honor Life Esports had so many scaling elements in the bag. If you didn't win early, it's kind of boom. This time, Honor Life Esports are the early driving force. So I think this game is still very playable from this point.
Hook is going to miss. Live or die by the hook. And, I mean, he's not going to die. But it was a miss. So there you go. Another part of the cup half full.
They're kind of flipping the game.
Oh no, Bull taking so much damage here. He's just taken out 2 versus 4. And now I guess it's 2 versus 3 as Zeka will get breathed on. Another charm, and there is the hook. I mean, playoff Zeka just hits different, man. He is so incredibly good, playing amazingly today. Cease and desist onto Bulldog. Another charm, of course. That's a targeted ability today. And Hummel will just roll them over. Doran wasn't even there, and he wasn't even necessary.
I retract everything I just said. They just got absolutely decimated, and now the game doesn't look to be in a good spot at all.
The cup has been drained.
It has been completely drained. It is a full empty cup. There's a couple of like dribbles in the bottom. That's what we're working with at the moment. And the question is, you ask, what was so worth it that Quantum Freaks needed to fight from this deficit to try and get the game back? Rift Herald, apparently. And they didn't respect the Banana Brush. You know, they didn't have control of it. The charm comes out from the Fog of War. Draven's dead. Stack's gone.
Watch these charms. Another one.
Yeah. You know, it has been such a good series from Zeka.
You put 5 games into a series and this man is completely changed.
Yeah, you know, finds another one there. Just playing it so well. And Honor Life Esports, with momentum, with its composition, fights are going to feel so smooth, oh.
Well, here's a bit of an engage from Cuz. Finds a Magnet Storm, but it lands only onto Peanut. And he is pretty tanky. Zeka going to have to use his ultimate to get himself out of here.
Just somehow back up already.
Yep, of course. It's just the way that things are. Malignant's doing its job. As I think he may be dead, guys.
He's giving a bull. He has to get a kill.
Yeah, he has to. Oh, he's not going to get it. Tudu didn't even try.
You know, I'm going to say it. He only has like 50 stacks now.
So it doesn't matter.
But it's still just like, imagine you're just playing Killless Draven 2 games of a series.
He didn't even get an assist, dude. It's not that he didn't get a kill. He didn't even get an assist. None of that pie. Oh, God.
Yeah, Bull's really hoping the series is a best of 7. He's like, game, you know, next game, guys, I'm going to pop
Game
off.
4, I got this. I get the 0-3 power spike in the series, baby.
Yeah. Well, at least Dudu is very fed. That is something. And we've seen Aatrox do pretty crazy Aatrox things before. Speaking of Aatrox.
Well, he's going to get hooked. Can they keep him in? Yes, they can. He's dead. Viper going to be able to pick that one up. Foregone conclusion, made sure that he hopped over the wall. That's a lot of extra money. That
might be the only person on Quantum Freaks who's actually worth gold at this point. At least full gold. Taken down there, giving it to Viper. Who I feel like this hasn't been like a
6-0-3.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not been like a game where we've seen Viper like really popping off and thought, oh, whoa, look at Viper. But he's got 6 kills, just kind of on the back of, he's the one, when someone charms and someone grabs, he's there just putting some spears in them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reset potential in this game, right? Like, there's Zeka picking up the essences, there's Viper getting the Rend back. Like, there is a lot of Zeka and Viper just bouncing around these fights and claiming one target after the next. And if these charms continue being magnetized to the opposition, that's just how every one of these fights is going to go. And it's going to be easier and easier as Honor Life Esports win more and more.
Yeah, and Honor Life Esports pick up their first dragon, 6,000 gold lead. It is just not a great spot to be in. And yeah, the added bonus of the Tremor Sense. You know, I don't think they really needed it there, but having the Rek'Sai plus the Blitzcrank is kind of crazy just for how they sync together, you know? You just see the Tremors show up and you just grab in that direction.
It's working. It is absolutely working. Is Quantum, the flanking Ashe, is gonna arrow. Yep. Hook, gonna connect, waits for the crash down, and Cuz can't move out of that one, but still does make it back to relative safety. Speaking of safety, there's a Fate's Call as now Doran diving on top. Bull, Whirling Death not really doing anything here, and Zeka picks up the first reset. The ulti does barely anything as Viper trying to keep himself alive. He's going to survive it. The hook is going to go wide, but it does not matter. No one dead on the side of HLG Esports. The Void Rush will spell the end, and there's the flash charm because, of course, it's going to land. The ace comes through. That one's clean, and HLG Esports are marching up mid.
Just some fantastic play. The skill shot so on point for HLG Esports, and just when you think Dudu is ready to take over, ready to turn the team fight in his favor, Viper outplays, Viper gets away, and HLG Esports secure that fight and just land a devastating blow to Quantum Freak's chances in this game, which were already slim.
Yeah, it wasn't looking that much above zero as Quantum starts this one off by missing the hook. Cuz is able to get the crash down to get out, but then they don't have any sort of re-engage opportunity or anything.
Yeah, and look at Doran and Zeka going on the back line, and Quantum and Bull are like, what are we supposed to do against this? And then this moment, Dudu nearly catches Viper. The breath just doesn't reach from Bulldog. The turnaround comes in, and then here, but I think Bull just doesn't even think he's been focused, but Zeka gets the charm flash so well. Zeka's had just such a fantastic series.
He has. Honestly, like,
he's not going to win any, you know, I feel like for me, right now, I'm looking at Delight POG. He might go 0 PAGs in the series, but overall could be POG the series because he's had such a fantastic one.
No, I would agree. I do think that he probably deserves it for this one. Just hitting all of the charms that he has. In goes Peanut, finds cease and desist onto Quantum. They'll take him down first. There is more essence just lapped up, and it's a double for Zeka, the man we were just discussing. They'll turn this into a Baron. And then probably a dead Nexus. It's 20 minutes, it's 11,000 gold. Like, the game is really, really over.
You know, I thought Delight was going to left over the wall, but he has Hex Flash. He just Hex Flashes to follow all his team.
Yeah. But turret goes down on the bottom side. Bounty gold. So no longer is it an 11,000 gold lead. It is now back to an 11,000 gold lead.
I'm seeing the issue though. He's using a Christmas skin. It's not Christmas. It's actually Easter.
Is there an Easter skin?
I don't think there is.
Oh, there's the bobblehead Draven, like April Fool's skin, and that's like tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
Not tomorrow, the next day.
That could have been more on point.
Yeah, that would have been the one.
Yeah, maybe this is why they're losing.
Yeah, skin choices, man. They're important. They matter. Well, sometimes you just want to be in the top lane.
Yeah. You know, if their strategy is be as far away from HLG Esports as possible, I don't think it's going to work, but I respect it.
I also think that they don't expect them to be here. So if you want to keep HLG Esports in the dark as to where you are, also another valid maneuver. If you want to keep your base alive, probably suboptimal. As Delight Hex Flash manages to find the Ashe max range. Now everybody else dives over. That's going to be the knockup onto Cuz. He's taken down first. Zeka grabs another one, angles the Orbit Deception beautifully. And the Whirling Death is kind of whirling meh at this point in time. There's the cease and desist onto Bulldog. He was looking to just try and escape this bulldozer that is HLG. Double kill for Viper in the end, and this will be the end of the game.
Absolute decimation. It felt like in the first game, they were kind of finding their footing, kind of testing the water with Quantum Freaks, and game 3 is an absolute stomp. 0-11-0 for the bot lane of Quantum Freaks. I'm only hoping Quantum gets away. 0-12-0. It has been quite a gap. I mean, a lot of people expected it, but HLG Esports reminding us why they are one of our top teams.
Delight just waiting for that hook to come off cooldown. Cuz is going to get missed by that one. Tries to pull a few in and does manage to get the shutdown onto Zeka.